Okay, so kind of a death candle here. We're looking at this 1 minute. Where's our delivery from right now? We pulled back. We tapped into that 4 hour. Oh wow, wait, we could actually like kind of reverse here. I mean, yeah, this short isn't actually horrible because you just go break even at this low here. We're delivering out of the 4 hour death candle. Good momentum. If you want to wait for the extra confirmation, because we've been so bullish, you'd probably want to wait for the 15 here because you're kind of long or shorting into that right now. But that would be the only problem with this short. It's kind of high risk, high reward. You guys want to hear something crazy? Dodgy is going to be in Detroit today for 4 hours. But that's 2 hours away from me. And when he gets to Detroit, it'll be 2:25 p.m., which I'll obviously be in the middle of p.m. He was trying to see if we could hang out and get lunch, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. Cancel p.m.? Nah, it's okay. I'll probably go to Fort Lauderdale or whatever next year. Have I met him in person? No, I haven't. Does Dodgy also live stream? Yeah, he'll be live tomorrow. He's just been on vacation. Sorry, Maxime, that you kind of joined in a weird week. Dude, this 1 minute's about to print. I just got a feeling. I don't know why, but I feel like we're going to get down to at least this low here. I like that we created that 1 minute OB there. That gives us, a high chance of getting to the break even. Yeah, overnight literally did all the moves for today. I don't know how good today is going to be honest. We have 10 a.m. news, so hopefully that can do something. Apparently, we have Trump speaking. Supreme Court tariff hearing at 10. I feel like that could be important. Can I rate the 15 minute at 6:45? A plus. I mean, ideally you want to close over both of these gaps, but I mean, yeah, probably. And the 30 minute there is better, to be honest. Okay, there's the break even for the 1 minute. What up, Vignesh? Yeah, I think we're about to dump. Last thing we got to break here is this 3 minute plus the OB, and then we're good. Did I take it? No, I didn't take this. Honestly, I literally got on the charts and I saw this and I was like, wait, this looks good. Let me check the other time frames. And then I saw the 15 minute hadn't closed and I was like, okay, I'm not going to take this. But if there was no 15 minute here, I would have taken that. Enter off the 3 minute? Nah. Because this 15 minute really needs to inverse first. The reason I liked it was because we were delivering out of this 4 hour gap. And we'd already pumped so much. 500 a good target or too far away? I think we could probably come back all the way to this low. Oh, that's 500. There you go. Yeah. Is that the hourly? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. We probably need to come to here and then we'll see. Okay, so the 1 minute would have been a break even. Give me just 1 sec, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to help my girlfriend with something urgent. So we're back now. Um, can you guys all hear me? Alrighty. So that 1 minute that we were initially looking at was a break even. The 3 minutes still holding. We have a 1 minute inverse to the downside with equal highs above, no liquidity sweep. So this sucks. And then see the 15 still hasn't closed yet. We got 2 more minutes. We do look very bullish, but the only thing that's kind of intriguing me about being bearish right now is the fact that we've came up and we've tapped into this 4 hour. And usually after we get 300-point move up in a bearish downtrend, we'll usually see like continuation. So like maybe this was like first stage of distribution, maybe we consolidate for a bit. And then, maybe we see second stage. I really do feel like we're bearish here. I would really like to see these daily gaps get inverse. But I know it's probably unrealistic for today. But yeah, let's go to the daily and go down from there to do our analysis. 4 hour, hourly. Like, if we look at the hourly here, even mark out a high to low, this pullback to 50 would be right into the hourly gap. It's going to be very hard to break that because it's an OB plus in FEG. So I would really only expect price to pull back to like this low on our Judas swing and then probably continue higher. If we violate this 1 hour gap with our Judas swing, then we could probably go much lower. And then ultimately this gap here to the left is going to be like our deciding gap of whether we or not we run to like Asia low here. Maybe the 30-minute actually, not the 15. Go to the 30. So yeah, when we violate these two gaps here, we'll definitely run to Asia. All right. I was just leaving the stage and coming back on because I guess people couldn't hear me. Okay, so 15-minute candle closes there. We're going to get our market structure shift most likely on these candles. Yeah, I'm recording. Possibility of London sweep then distribution. Where's London? We already swept out London high and London low, so I don't know what you're talking about. Is there a specific time frame I like for market structure shift? I mean, it depends. So remember that diagram that Dodge talked about, where it was like, what was it? The two time frames that you need to align if you're expecting certain moves. So it really depends, right? If we're expecting like a little internal market maker model to be completed, you can like look at the 1 minute. But if you're expecting like a big move all the way back to the low here, you typically want like a 15-minute market structure shift. So it just depends on what you're anticipating. Like right now, I think that this 1 minute market structure shift to the downside would be good to take us to like 25.5. Low key, all good draws have been taken. I think we have an unfilled 1 hour that's still a good draw, so I'll keep an eye on that. You guys still can't hear me? Dream scenario resweep the highs and short. Yeah, I think right now we're just kind of like consolidating, right? We kind of have enough momentum to be bearish here. Like this 3 minute structure seems very bearish. So if we were to like, I guess, violate this 2 minute, this could theoretically be an entry, but I don't know. It'll be good to just wait for market open here. If we get a good setup before market open, like at 9:25, that'll be fine to take. If we get a good setup after market open, before 10 o'clock, before our news, that's fine. But as soon as like 9:50 hits, I'm just probably not going to be looking at taking any more setups until after news. Getting a reliable full port shorts right now. Oh, true. What's the end dog and session high low indicator? Yeah, so they're two separate indicators. The one is oh, wrong one. This one here. That's for the sessions, and then this one is for new week. But yeah, we got 10 more minutes till market open. Twisted, if you're asking that question, that tells me that your psychology is worried about taking profit here. So if you're concerned about taking profit, wait for 1R and then like scale some. And then that way you don't have to worry about price getting down to 500. Because I have no idea if price is going to get down there, you know? We could stall here. We could end up respecting this 15 minute, and that might be it. I know if it's an eval, well, then up to you. Just trying to pass your eval quick. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't. No, I actually I wouldn't do that for an eval. The way that I like to pass evals when I'm not trading news is I don't like to go for it in one go. It takes too many attempts. Just try and go for like 25 points with a lot of risk. And like for example, with the last 4 evals I just passed, doing that, I passed 3 and I failed 1. So I have a pretty good success rate of doing that. Just trying to like flip accounts quickly using the inverse model. Um, that's the way that I like to do it. If you don't like to do it, if you want to pass it in one go, I mean, you can try and get it down to 25.5. Yeah, all I do, Hunter, when I try and pass accounts is I risk a third of the drawdown to make a third of the profit target, and I try and go for 1-to-1, and that's all I do. Usually 1-to-one's about 25 points. Yeah, Otherwise, I'd rather pass on news. So if you want to try and pass this eval real quick, Twisted, just wait for PPI to come out or whatever it is, PMI to come out at 10, and try and full port it on that. You know. I do that all prop firm models. Uh, they work. It works so much better than trying to full port with like trailing drawdown accounts, APOF. That's why I do it because I used to do that whenever I would trade Apex accounts. But for end of day, you can try and hold because it doesn't affect the trailing. That's definitely better for trailing drawdown accounts. But long yellow morning, yeah, it seems to be the winning play there. NFP will be Friday, cheater. Unless the government's still shut down, which we are, right? By the way, shout out to the longest government shutdown in history. We did it, guys. We broke history. This is unprecedented. We've never had our government shut down for this long. We have officially had our government shut down for 10% of the year. 10%. That means 10% of your tax dollars are being wasted. The IRS is closed. TSA agents aren't being paid, so airport lines are getting longer. The military isn't being paid. Nobody's getting paid. I thought the vote didn't go through for yesterday. Got the 2 minute inverse here in 30 seconds. Am I taking the 2 minute? It looks like it's gonna be a little low. I think it'll just be a break even trade, so I'm just gonna watch it play out. Maybe if we get the retrace, that's a decent entry, but I don't think I would enter all the way down here. Okay, so it gave the retrace. I'm probably not. I'm gonna sit this one out. I think there's a better trade, somewhere here. 3 minute also, okay. Tapped into another 3 minute. Oh yeah, I mean this doesn't really matter. I think the low's gonna hit here. But we'll see. Kobe, that's a sign that you just got to take a break, man. Just chill out. I know it sucks because you're not making forward progress, but the last thing you want to do is make negative progress. So, how much do you recommend risking per trade on eval? Normally, I risk a third of the drawdown. By the way, we hit the low, and then obviously the 2 minute looks like it's gonna be a break even trade, which is kind of what I anticipated. Whether you got it on the retrace or the original entry, we just barely missed the break even there. Good idea to wait for news today? Not until like usually around 15 minutes before. I'll take trades within like the first 20 minutes of open or whatever if we get something really good. But if price is chopping because we've had this overnight expansion and there's not really anything textbook, then I will just wait for the news. So yeah, break even on the 2 minute. Dream scenario. I mean, if we remanipulate the highs here and get a short out of the 4 hour, that could be good. You tell again. How do you calculate how many contracts are going on the trade? Yeah, so I grab my risk tool here, right? I set my risk to whatever I want to risk for the day. So today I want to risk 150, okay? And then I come over here and I adjust my stop loss depending on the size of the IFEG, and that tells me how many micros I can take on the trade. And there you go. Or you can just do the math. It's $20 for every micro for every 10 points. There's open. Okay, very bullish candle. Where do you get the risk calculator? It's right here on the left side of trading view. Long position, short position. What is ghost feed? Yo, what is that? Can I show that again? Sure. Yeah, it's right here. Long position. These are just not realistic candles. Why isn't it stopping? Okay. All right, let's see here. I don't know. I wouldn't really be messing around with this. Wow, that's a 15-second V shape though. This will probably work to the low, if I had to guess. But I mean, what's our delivery here? Yeah, we don't really have good delivery. Okay, there's the low. So break even for the 30-second. 15-minute BPR. Oh, we had a 15-minute there? Oh, no. Oh, I literally saw it. I was so confused. I was like, wait, there's no 5. Okay. Well, yeah, that 30-second was probably decent. But we'll see if it's a winner. Break even. Can't hear any? Oh boy, not again. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to be a break even. This could be a winner. Please. Well, I guess it's bearish here because we rejected off that 15-minute gap. We're kind of moving down here. Yeah, this 30-second was good. Doesn't look like it's a break even yet. There we go. Okay, a break even trade. Feel a little better. Not that I didn't want you guys to win, but isn't this LRLR below? No. No, we don't have any LRLR here. So yeah, market open sucks. Nothing really textbook yet, so we're probably gonna have to wait. Yeah, I mean, nah. These are like, this is a good liquidity target, but that's not LRLR. Bias bearish. How do I determine LRLR? Visually. You do it by how it looks. So this is what textbook LRLR looks like. Okay. Also, we're dumping. Okay, these consecutive swing highs all algorithmically along the same line, and then it gets ran very quickly. Kind of like this. This is a good death candle. So we're going to run the lows there. Hit the target. This was a little 2022 out of the 30-second. There's that 500 level. We have an opportunity for a 1 minute long, maybe back up here out of the 1 hour gap. I honestly think that we're just going to dump though. Like, I think we're going to come down to this low. Maybe. I mean, I guess if we get a bullish reaction here, that probably won't happen. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's think about draw and liquidity. What would Dodge say about the draw right now? Is this a good draw that we're targeting up here? What's the better draw? I mean, honestly, I don't really think the sell side draws are that good. I mean, I don't love them. I actually kind of like this 30-second. This looks pretty good. We do have the, I don't like the 930 wick target. Why is the bias bearish? We were bearish to the 1 hour gap. Now that we've tapped into it, we're kind of neutral. We'll see the reaction in the 1 hour gap here. If we were to get like this V shape up on the 30-second where we create this 30-second OB, get a nice momentum candle to the upside, I could probably flip bullish. If that doesn't happen, then I'll probably remain bearish because that means we're going to inverse this 1 hour, which means we're going to head lower to this low down here at like 25,400. We already mitigated the 15? Yeah, we did. Everything is balanced, right? So like really we're just going for this low inside the gap here, which I think Dodgy would say is the target because this looks like a sell model to this low. Okay. I think that's where we're at right now. You don't want to be shorting down here because I think we're in discount now. Like you should have been in from a short. Oh yeah, we're almost in discount. Should have been in a short from maybe the 30-second there, and then that got break even. So there really wasn't an opportunity unless you like took this 15-second. Wow, this 15-second was like pretty good actually. Okay, 30-second here. Did we get the close over there? No, we did not. Okay, so no close there. 25-point stop. I'm gonna take this, I think. Getting it close. All right, there's the close. I'm gonna get in there. Might need to rebalance this 30-second gap we've left. Okay, I mean, technically micros hit the break even, but I don't think NQ has, right? Yeah, NQ hasn't hit the break even, so up to you if you want to go break even there. We were up number of points. All right, I'm gonna go break even there. And now we're just hoping for, I guess, 930 wick here, maybe. I actually just got out there for 1R because that actually gets my payout. So I'm gonna secure my payout there. I've been trying to get this for like 7 days, and it's been tough. So I'm just gonna take my profit there for like 1R. But hold for 930. It's the obvious target. We have good momentum. How many of you guys took this? Definitely should have scaled, right? We were up, a good chunk of points there. Yeah, that was a banger. That was a good trade. Yeah, don't be worried about this little pullback here. We probably just needed to come back to balance of 1 minute, right? And now we're gonna ultimately hit that 930 wick. No SMTs yet, so we should be in good shape. Left a lot of liquidity here, so you could definitely hold a runner to the highs. If it comes back to break even, well, you've scaled at like half your position. Wasn't too much risk here. It was about a 25-point stop loss on this trade. But yeah, no, I wanted to cover there because, yeah, I wanted to get my payout. So let me just make sure that I did this right. 1233. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm over by 11. Okay, I should be able to get my payout. No sound, no audio, no sound. All right, let me leave and rejoin. Hello? You guys hear me? Okay, cool. All right, let's see. So looks like after the scale there, it might be a break even. Okay, so break even on the rest of there. Still a really good trade. You guys heard when I was scaling there. That definitely was up 1R, so you definitely could have taken profit there. I'm really glad that I took full profit because I would not have qualified for my payout otherwise. I've been battling with this for a couple weeks now, and I just wanted to get it done. So, what a great way to start the stream. 1 hour unfunded there. Yeah, we rejected off the rejection block there. I was hoping that we could hit that 930 wick because we ran sell side, so I didn't really think that this was going to be all that important, but ultimately we didn't. So that is that. Bearish inverse to the downside here coming off that rejection block. If you're very bearish, wait for, I believe, this 30-second to inverse here. I mean, I think we have the delivery, right? Maybe not. Okay, so no delivery because we inversed the 15-second, 30-second to the upside, but in a way we're kind of delivering because we had that rejection block in the 15-minute gap. So If you're very bearish, this is a good inverse to the downside. This 1 minute / 30-second combined. I imagine this will probably take us lower. So obviously I'm done for the day, but if you would like to keep trading, this is definitely interesting. So 1 minute inverses there, you could enter there. This is a lot of momentum. You don't really have to wait for both, but if you want the extra confirmation, taking the 30-second and waiting for, maybe 10 points lower wouldn't be the worst idea, because you're going to go for a lot of risk reward here. You're going to go for like this low for that final TP. So it's kind of probably worth the extra confirmation. Because if we don't close through that 30-second, we're definitely going to come back up. But this would be an 100-point move to the downside if it triggered. So okay. Might not. We have a 1 minute confirmation long here. Delivering from that 30-second, no liquidity sweep. Yeah, I mean this 30-second held. So right now, I don't really know what the draw is. I do believe it's higher. I kind of like this, because as long as we're respecting the 1 hour here, we shouldn't believe that we're going to go for this low. We kind of talked about this earlier. I think this is ultimately the draw. The only reason why you'd be taking a short here is if you're bearish, because I missed something. But we're not bearish yet. I think as long as we're holding this 1 hour, we're good. Bullish LRLR, kinda, yeah. I mean, it's not the best. This is like B tier LRLR, but it's decent. I kind of like that it's like stacked liquidity. Just so you guys are clear, just so we're clear on everything here, okay? The way that I operate as far as bias go is I have this system for order flow that I follow, where essentially as long as we're respecting bullish PD raise, and I can align that with a bullish draw, then I'm going to be bullish, and vice versa for bearish. And so right now, that PD ray that's kind of establishing my bias is this 1 hour gap. So as long as we're holding this, I'm going to remain bullish, okay? And I think we'll hit this high, most likely, before we're bearish again. Is it because of the payout goal? I'm just waiting until after news to take another trade, Juan. I have other accounts that I can trade on. But yeah, this 1 minute long doesn't look horrible. We have news in 15 minutes here. This 1 minute long actually looks pretty decent, because we have the order block plus the inverse plus a decent break even plus a lot of momentum plus we're respecting the 30-second. No liquidity sweep, but you're kind of taking like a confirmation setup long here. So up to you. I would rate this like an A setup. Maybe like teetering A minus, because the draw isn't as good. But yeah, like A minus. We did have news right now. I think it was like yellow folder though. It shouldn't have mattered too much, or maybe it was orange folder. But yeah, definitely an A setup. This is better than the short, the 1 minute short, because we never got the confirmation. Do you care if ES is LRLR? Yeah, I mean, I think we're just gonna run all this liquidity here. So we'll see. Oh, nice. Dodger took the same trade as us. Okay. Very cool. Okay, so there's the break even for this. You can take profit there as well. And then I would hold for the high. This is a lot of momentum coming up here. Just about hitting that TP now. A little bit more. Okay, bang. All out there, right? So, hopefully you guys found a way to get green off those two moves. Did the indicator alert this one? No, because there was no liquidity sweep. That's what made this an A setup and not A+. Okay, so now that we've swept out that high, we've taken all of those conflicting draws. Depending on the reaction that we get at like 10 here for that reversal, off news, whatever, we could see, you know, more bearishness. If not, then maybe we're bullish now. I mean, if we really expand here and displace, why would we pull back? You know? Oh, so there was an SMT there for this initial long. Would I look short? Not yet. Not yet. Why did you like that long with the threat of coming back down and sweeping that low? Because we had the OB that formed there and the momentum. And the way that we respected that last 30-second gap here that had the OB and the breaker. So I like that. Also, I didn't realize this at first, but this was an SMR long. So this was like A+++. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, let me post these little trade recaps and we can focus back on the macro here. We have news in 10. So really good trades. Lying. If you guys have a runner, you can hold, but I don't know why you would. Previous day high target for me. Wait, what? Where is that? Is that like no, it's not all the way up there, right? Yesterday was Tuesday. Tuesday was wait, where's previous day high? Am I lost? I thought it would be like 897. Why isn't my indicator showing that? Oh, previous day high. Here we go. Okay, it was just too far to the right. Right here, 26,104. Dude, you want to go for 26,104? That's crazy. All right, we got news in 8 minutes. Wow, dude, this trade was so good. News already came out. Check juice. I thought we had ISM services PMI at 10. Oh, it already came out. Wait, what? I mean, I know we had the 945 orange folder news. Wait, I'm confused. It is the same though. It's they're both ISM. Wait, no, that was S&P services PMI final. We need ISM services PMI, and that's at 10. So they're two different PMIs. I think they're by different organization. Yeah, we need ISM services. The other one was S&P. Yeah. What made you take profit at 1R? Because I wanted to secure my payout. That's the reason why. I've been battling for this payout for like 6 trading days now, and I just wanted to take profit when I knew that I would get the payout. So that was literally the only reason why. Also, if we were to look for shorts here, I would take this 5-minute inverse. This would be A plus coming off the 4-hour if we got it. Check hourly. Okay. Okay, we're gonna hit this hourly high here. This is the next target. And then if we inverse this hourly, we're gonna go for this high up here, which I don't even know what the indicator's alerting for there to be a TP1 up here, and for there to be the hourly inverse. Wait. We didn't close over to this candle technically, but it also never failed on this down close candle here. You see that? So this was what was dictating bullish bias pretty much all day, and then we get the OB, and it's like, okay, we're clean to the races. Yeah, being bullish there was pretty obvious. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty easy bias. Okay. By the way, if the 1-hour inverses, why aren't we bearish? What do you mean? The 1-hour inverses, why aren't we bearish? We weren't bearish this morning at all. We were bullish. Gold longs? Oh, I like to hear the sound of that. Oh, never mind. We're still like in this weird consolidation. Okay. Gold longs off the 30-minute. Gold looks like shit. Honestly, NQ looks better this morning. Let's check on our good friends at UNH. Okay, well, blended. And what else? What else should we check on? Oh, thinking about. Oh, not this one. This one, right? Yeah. Novo Nordisk has taken a huge beating this year, and they're in a lot of lawsuits. I saw this like article about how their company is being bought up by insiders. Interesting company there. YM at a nice 30-second long, but invalid for sure. Dude, that long on YM yesterday at a 5-minute was crazy. You guys remember that? That 5-minute long looks so textbook. But yeah, we have news in 3 minutes. I don't know if it's going to be that high impact. I feel like somebody already knows. That's why we just pumped 120 points. But we'll see. About to hit that high inside the fair value gap. When is Dodgy going to be trading here? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day, or today's the last day that I'll be streaming with you guys, Leon. Don't worry, you don't have to deal with me for too much longer here. Thanks, Leon. Appreciate it. Wait, how do I get the reliable cord? Oh, great question, Gage. For those of you that don't know, I stream PM in Dodgy's Dungeon. It's $50 a month. All you gotta do is go to wap.com/nqreliable. And yeah, you can join us there. There's about 170 of us. We just hang out, stream, talk about trades during PM. Pretty much do the same thing in there that I do here. So yeah. You're an AM for 35 a month? That's what I was paying when I was in AM. Is PM stream reliable? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's treated me well. Nice, Jimmy. Great job. Okay, here's news. Get a little data high. Not really, though. It's a pretty tiny wick. Perfect timing, too. We ran into that hourly gap that kind of initially sent us down here. We swept out the Devil's Mark there, kind of. Inverse the 4. True. We did inverse the 4 hour. I think as long as we're holding on to this 1 hour gap, though, we could still theoretically get a reversal here. If not a reversal, at least a retracement. Whenever we see price just like shoot up and we don't get like any candles that rebalance the inefficiencies on the way up here, we usually see a pullback. And ideally, that would be to 50. So let's take a look at where 50 is here. So 50 kind of lines up nicely with the order block here with the unfilled last gap in the leg on the 5-minute. So we could maybe see a pullback to there. That could be cool. Wick is bigger on YM and ES. Interesting. So yeah, we created a data low here, I think, right? And actually, honestly, this data candle is horrible. So I wouldn't really pay any mind to it. But we could get 10 a.m. reversal here. And I guess we left the wick at the high. So maybe we retrace at 10 a.m. and then get longs back to the high. Would I care about the data high? No, probably not. To be honest, it's not that important. We have a certain way of determining order flow. Yeah, I don't use any of those fancy tools or indicators. All I do is focus on what fair value gaps and PD arrays are being respected and which ones are being disrespected. So right now, bullish PD arrays are being respected. So that's kind of my order flow. I think we have bullish order flow, and then I align that with a draw. So this morning it was all the stacked highs here, and that's about it. But yeah, bias for me is just order flow plus draw. It's that simple. That's all. That's the equation. Draw is easy because you just look at your hierarchy of draws, which draws are most important, which draws are least important, and that kind of helps eliminate targets, right? That was probably the easiest day for you in a long time. Yeah, you just gotta wait for the easy days and get through the difficult days by being patient, and you can make money, right? I haven't taken like a good setup this week that's gotten me profit, right? I've just been break even because I've been managing my risk all week, right? Today I capitalized on the first setup I saw that was very good, and now I'm walking away with a payout. Okay, you just got to find opportunities to do that. And this one payout is going to cover my entire month of expenses, right? And then some. I'll be able to put away some money for savings and taxes and whatever. Mostly it's because I keep my expenses low. I mean, it kind of depends on what my girlfriend wants to spend money on. But yeah, like my rent will be covered, my food, my gas, my car, like everything. So that's all it takes. I have a girlfriend. I do, yeah, for 4.5 years now. You take your payout every month. I try and take a payout every 2 weeks, at least once a month though. For Apex, it's usually once a month. You thought I was gay or rainbow? Well, why aren't I engaged at least? Dude, everyone asked me that question. How old am I? 23. What platforms do I use? Apex, MFFU, Funded Next. I found out yesterday is the best firm as far as the payout process goes. I mean, you buy an account, a 25K, and you can pass it in one day, and then you can get a payout after 3 days of trading. That's crazy. And the payouts are, I think, uncapped. I don't think Dodgy wants me to share stuff like that up here, Oliver. But probably the simplest way I can say is just I'm profitable, and I paid for all of my living expenses and put away retirement savings and all that before I even started streaming for you guys, just off trading. So I make a good salary off trading. How can you take payout every 2 weeks, bro? I just find opportunities in the market like this one and capitalize on them. You live only by trading? I could. Like if Ryan said reliable, you're fired, I'd be fine. I mean, it would suck, right? Because that'd be like taking a big pay cut, right? But you know, what's my favorite MFFU account? The OG starter accounts, but right now probably the core. Core are good. 30-second short, yeah. If we remanipulate this high, get a soup at the high, and then like maybe a bearish reaction there, this 1 minute or 30-second, it would be decent. Chill, Dapper. Chill, chill, chill. Do I still have the starters? I do, yeah. Does the indicator automatically plot draws? No, it doesn't. You kind of have to eyeball those yourself. Dude, Dodgy apparently has crazy FOMO. Using a continuation model? Yeah, I do. So this trade here was actually the continuation model here. All right. 1 minute short. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, like actually A plus. Genuinely. Draws would be the I don't know. I guess probably unfilled 15-minute that were for me. 1 minute or 30 second. We'll wait for the 30 second. I don't know. There's a lot of momentum down. You could probably get away with taking the 1 minute or the 30 second. What makes me confident in taking trades before news? If they look textbook like this one did. You don't like the draw? I think we need to retrace 50 here. I think we want that 5 minute unfilled gap. Like this is A plus, dude. Check how clean the 5 second has been. I don't even, bro. Stop! Don't say that. Oh, yeah. The 5 second looks good, man. Look at that. What a banger. Appreciate it, Shades. What's the continuation model, and is there a PDF on that? Basically, all it is whenever we get an inverse off of an inverse. Okay, that's literally all it is. So like this 1 minute long here is based off the 30 second inverse we got here. Okay. The better confirmation setups will be ones where we first create like a 1 minute low instead of a fair value gap, and then for the continuation model, we come down and sweep that low and then get the long. Like for example, this one here. Okay. So we create a 1 minute low here, price sweeps it, and then we get the continuation long. And this long is kind of off, like the inverse of these gaps to the left here, but this one isn't as good. It's not like the continuation model. It's just like, well, it's just a easy name, right? It's still the inverse model, right? We just inverse the 15 minutes to the left, though. I think as long as we're holding the 1 hour bearish, we could look for retracements here. I don't think I'm higher time frame bearish yet, but lower time frame, you could look for scalps to rebalance all the inefficiencies that we created here, right? It just makes sense to look for some sort of retracement. And I think if you have conviction in that retracement happening, then eyeballing this 1 minute short to see that happen, this isn't like a bad trade, right? Like this is 10 a.m. reversal. We got the manipulation leg. We're delivering out of the 1 hour. So we have higher time frame delivery. We have our draws below being the inefficiencies we've left behind. Like I feel like this would be at least a break-even trade, if not, a winner. Could see the 1 minute close below here. 30 second as well. I want to see both of those. If this takes a long time to close, right, and the momentum starts to stall, and we're outside the macro, which obviously now we are, it's past 10:10. This trade is going to become worse, right? So like maybe an A minus setup versus A plus. Yeah, 1 minute ES short would be good too. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, ideally we want both of these to get inversed. That would be nice. So we got the 30 second inversing here, okay, and it hit the low first. So maybe you got enough the 1 minute. But yeah, I mean, I still feel like this is gonna work to this low at least. We'll see. Am I in? Wasn't going to enter, to be honest. I don't know yet though. I honestly was just gonna take my one and done because the momentum here wasn't like amazing, but it's still decent. Like it's still like an A minus setup. It's okay. Maybe I will take it. How many point stop is this? If I base it off the 1 minute here, because we have that OB, it's 30, 25 point stop. Okay. It's already invalid. Yeah, that's true. I still think that we go for the slow though. Maybe not. That's a pretty bullish candle. Why would we do that? Just chill. Yeah, ran into momentum. So now this is like an A minus trade, right? Because we're not getting the momentum we need to the downside here in order to be truly bearish, right? If we're gonna be bearish, it's gonna be like this elevator down. You know, these big bearish candles, right? Still, you know, we just gotta let it breathe, right? Like it still could be a winning trade. But yeah, it's not as good as like the first long setups, especially because the draw is probably worse than the other setups too. I still think this is a winner. Like, if I had to guess, this is like 60-40. Like 60% of the time this wins, 40% of the time this loses. So you could like size down on this maybe. Like if you made like 1.5R on the trade, you put half risk on this. Something like that. Do I still journal? I have journaling software, but the way that I journal now is I just look back in my videos. Anytime that I like have an issue while trading, I will just review it from there. Um, and then that's kind of the way that I journal. Also, I feel like at this point you should just be break even. Like this is doing a little too much, you know. Okay, that's a good candle. This should run the low here. Okay, there's the low. Perfect. So you should be break even now. And then you should be targeting like the last 5 minute gap in the leg, I think. Or I don't know, we could just IO fed the 15 minute here. Vert, this is your favorite setup, right? The short, yeah, exactly. Maybe you just TP at the 15. I don't think that was 1-to-1, but there's no way it was, right? Yeah, it was 15 points. And break even. Okay. Ryan goes, oh, I'm so bad. So yeah, makes sense. We lost momentum there. Good break even though. That's what you want to do in that scenario there, because you don't know if the 15 minute here is going to break. You don't know if we're going to really go down here. How do you set up break even so fast? Where do I trade? Trade-Evade. Yeah, Trade-Evade. I just manually set the limit orders and move it. Yeah, for sure. So glad that failed. I mean, yeah, it break even for sure. Trade-Evade's the best. I love Trade-Evade. It's the only thing that I trade on. So, well, that and Robinhood, but yeah. Rate setup, you took a 945. Okay. What about it? Oh, A plus. Well, no. Sorry, I rated this A in lifetime. This is an A setup because we don't have the liquidity sweep here. But yeah, very good trade. Second best trade of the day, I think. Okay, so at this point, this is where Dodgy would tell you guys to log off. Okay? This is where you'd be like, just come back for PM, come back for a different session, come back tomorrow. We've gotten our move, it's played out. We're starting to consolidate. This is where you'd be like, all right, guys, don't touch grass. He's going to be playing Clash for the rest of the day. I don't know, something like that. For sure, Ebad. What's gold looking like? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, also, we had an SMT at that low, so that was another reason why that was a good break even. I actually think the break even should save us here. Gold looks like a mess. Don't touch gold. Dude, it's actually crazy that, Ryan, you're going to be in Detroit, man. Like, if I wasn't streaming PM, dude, we would go out. We'd go to Lafayette. Like, if you're gonna be this foodie guy, right? Like, I know you like Michelin, bro, but we gotta go stop by like a Coney Island. Like, that would be that's Detroit. Wait, why are you putting your Venmo and PayPal? What is happening? Oh, I see, because we're all green. I live in Detroit. No, I'm a little bit outside of it. I'm like an hour and a half away. Yeah. Yeah. And Ryan's gonna be in um what's it called? Detroit while I'm streaming PM. Okay, so we're getting this retracement like I wanted. I think we're gonna come back to this 5 minute here. Was there like a re-entry for us? No, there wasn't. Okay, so we're just gonna get break even on this trade. It's gonna go down. Makes sense. 5 minute. I would not short the 5 minute inverse here. I would only short a confirmation setup on this side of the curve. And honestly, I wouldn't feel comfortable shorting yet. I would want to see the 15-minute break, honestly. I was only comfortable with it here because we had that 15-minute gap as like our draw, right? But now that we're inside of it, we could honestly reject from here at any time and continue higher. So I wouldn't want to fade that until after the gap has been disrespected, and then we can look for shorts to like target the low here potentially, right? 15-second long there. Break even at this next gap. Indicator alerted it. Wow. There's the break even. That was a good 15-second long. We don't trade the 15-second though. We don't do that stuff. Wow, dude, that printed. Oh my goodness, dude. That 30 Dude, that was 30 points in 45 seconds. Oh my goodness. Dude, that just printed. So like I said, we could reject out of that 15-minute literally whenever, right? So you can see there, that's exactly what's happening. Seeing continuation higher, a lot of momentum candles up to the upside. You completely missed that? Yeah, that 15-second was pretty good, Carlos. Wait, my trailing drawdown broke for these fundeds. Interesting. Because I was up money on this woman at short, and it didn't take it from my trailing drawdown. So I'm guessing we don't have NFP this week. I don't think so. Somebody said that the government could reopen today, but I doubt it. The money's on us actually seeing the government closed until like what? Yeah, I mean, nobody has money on it ending today or within the next 3 days. The money's on the 8th to the 11th, well to the 5th, and even beyond that. To be honest, there's I saw money on like 44 days. So this we're not going to see NFP this week. I don't think. Maybe next week. Right. If you guys want to pay attention to like what the highest likelihood outcome is of anything, I really like keeping track of it on Polymarket. Like yesterday, like I was keeping an eye on the New York City mayoral election, and there were polls coming out like I want to say around 11 o'clock that had like Cuomo beating Mamdani, and I go to Polymarket and Mamdani has 97% of the money. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, I don't look at polling data. I don't look at like what people are saying, like politicians or newscasters. All I do is I check where the money's at, and that's always very accurate. Okay, Akagi, for sure. Yeah, dude, this 15-second. Oh my goodness! If Ryan didn't feel FOMO before, he's got to be feeling it now. Even the indicator alerted that one. Back to AM high here. The data high, right? Oh wait, no, not the data high. We already took that out. Wow, 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 wow. Look at that 5R. The 15-second was also no. The 15-second wasn't a confirmation setup. this was just a like normal inverse play, right? Where we come down, sweep liquidity, deliver from like a fair value gap on the higher time frame, and then get that V shape. So this is just a normal inverse trade. Going for previous day high, that would be crazy. There would be like my final TP for that trade. With this much momentum, though, we could definitely be going higher. I don't know if we're gonna go back for 26,106. That's pretty crazy. That's another 400 points. But clearly we are not bearish, right? If we were bearish here, would we have reacted so bullishly out of this 15-minute getting that IO fed? Probably not, which tells us that we are not going to inverse this daily gap. We are going to continue higher here. We might even go back all the way to all-time highs. At the bare minimum, we're going to come for this high here, this high inside the gap. So pay attention to 25,891. That's probably the next draw. Dodge, it's like Michael Paddock said. A tennis player wouldn't go play pickleball because it would mess with their swing. Sweep of what? Oh, we swept the 1-minute lows here. Okay. Okay, so SMT at the high here. Very bearish reaction. We're still inside that 1-hour gap to the left. I mean, this is technically mechanically A plus. The draw is not very good. The break even is decent. So there would be the entry rate. I think we closed below that. I would not take this personally. This is an A minus trade, I think, subjectively. A plus mechanically. The reason why is because I actually just think we're bullish here. I think this probably goes against the bias. If I wanted to take shorts here, I'd probably need more confirmation. At least an SMR. Which the SMR would come if we close below this. We got our market structure shift on the 1-minute. Yeah, we would have the 2-minute SMR short. Exactly. This is what I would be waiting for if I was like bearish here, if I wanted to see price at lower. Oh man, I mean, looks like the 1-minute's gonna maybe at least get a break even. We'll see. 30-second long? Yeah, no. No chance, no chance. Too high now. Yes, EJ, yes, you'll get the $40 funding fee. I just took advantage of that last night, so yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it tonight at 6. You'll get the email saying that you passed. Yeah, for sure, Robbie. Have a good lift, Marcos. If I had $100 CFD account, what would I risk per trade? Like £10? Uh, Yeah, I guess. I would just trade a prop account. I wouldn't trade um a live account with $100 munchies. Yeah, appreciate it, Ricky. So for those of you that are sitting there wondering why did this A plus mechanical, well, I guess it's not A plus because it wasn't singular, but pretty much with the momentum, mechanically like A at least. Why did this A setup just fail, or at least seem like it's gonna fail? And the reason why is because this inverse doesn't really tell us anything about price wanting to actually become bearish here. Now I'll say that, and now it'll like start to work, of course, but the reason why mainly is because the draw here just isn't good. You know, we tapped into this 15-minute gap, and yes, we took out the highs, but ultimately, this 1 minute inversing doesn't really just tell us enough about order flow, which means that we're kind of trading without a bias. But I swear to God, if this starts to work now after I just said that, like, oh, this is gonna fail, I'm gonna not be very happy because I really thought that was about to fail. It looked like it was going to. Now we're just heading lower. Trump is speaking today at 2. The at 1, yeah, at the U.S. Business Forum. I talked too early, yeah, exact thing. What's the most common setup I take? I don't really have like a common setup necessarily, but my favorite setup is the one that we're delivering from a higher time frame gap that has just been filled, right? So it was an unfilled higher time frame gap before that, and if it's a daily or a 4 hour, that's my favorite. When we get that inverse after price runs liquidity and we get like a lower time frame AMD setup, and the manipulation like taps into the higher time frame gap, that's the best. So okay, it failed. Proving my point. But yeah, if we're going to be bearish here, we need this 2 minute because this 2 minute is the gap that sent price higher, so we know it has importance. And so we know if that it breaks, not only would we know that price is very bearish because this 2 minute gap had significance before and had a lot of orders sending price higher, but we know that if this were to break, it's like the last roadblock, and so the only place left for price to go would be the low, the 15-minute low there. So that's why I think this 2 minutes better. Also, in the process of us inversing the 2 minute, we would be creating more bearish PD arrays on top of the inverse, including a bearish breaker, bearish order block, etc., etc. So longs from 615. Honestly, we already had longs from there. It was this 15 second. So if you were looking to be long, you should have been in from here. I think trying to long like waiting on a pullback is just unrealistic. I think we're probably just going to continue to head higher. And if we pull back to 615, it would be because we need to rebalance like an hourly. So maybe to come back here, but this one's kind of small. Maybe to rebalance this 4 hour when this gets put in. I think that's the only time that we're going to see a pullback to 615 today is if at like 2 o'clock here we put in this 4 hour pullback, tap it, and then go higher. But ultimately, right now, I think we're just going to continue to head up. Do I ever include volume imbalance in FEG? Yeah, usually if the VI is like a point or greater, I'll include it. I don't think the one for the 15 second was bigger than a point, right? it was about a point, so I don't know. It's up to you. I probably would have included it because the momentum. 1 minute LRLR thing is kind of forming. Kinda, yeah. This is okay. Once again, kind of that like B rating LRLR. Got about 20 more minutes. Mentorship students, for those of you that are here, I'll be doing a mentorship class after this stream for probably 30 minutes. I have a couple ideas for what I want to talk about. I could go over like all my favorite setups, or we could do a class about draw liquidity, just back testing and identifying, what the best draw is on the chart, and then watching price, like tapering price. You need a class on draw? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Class on draw. Oh yeah, Samuk. Yeah, you have to be a part of the mentorship. How does the mentorship work? So with Ryan, I feel like I'm not the best person to ask this. I feel like if you want to learn more about the mentorship, you should try and book a one-on-one call. Just know that it's a little bit of an investment, right? It's more, akin to like tuition at college versus $100 a month payment because it's more personalized. You get access to Ryan's personal phone number. You can ask him questions whenever you want. And then there's more material that's not included in a lot of the YouTube videos and whatnot. So uh, that's all about. I'm going to say on that the people that are really good at explaining it are the people that you want to book through the that one-on-one call to see if it's a right fit for you. It's one to many, one to many. So there's about I think like 15 people in the mentorship right now. Um, but it's still it's a much smaller setting than being on a call with 300 people, right? Bearish reaction at the high there. 30-second gap here. Once again, not something I would take. Really similar to the last trade too. Probably a little bit worse, right? It's not as obvious. But I would still be waiting on the 2 minute here to break before being bearish to the next low. So yeah, let me actually pull that up. But yeah, I also do one-on-ones. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm planning on doing a sale for those around Black Friday. So if you guys wanted to sit down with me and have a chat while we trade for 2 hours in the morning, uh, I do that. Could be an opportunity to improve on like your personal trading, or just ask me questions about the model or anything, ICT, psychology. Could the draw be the 50% of the range? So a draw on liquidity is never going to be 50% because there aren't going to be orders there. If you think about orders, right, there's going to be orders at liquidity levels, right? Places in the market where visually we can see that people are going to be placing their stop losses, right? Or if there's inefficiencies. But specifically 50, there's not really going to be orders. So if I was going to be looking for 50 though, right? If I wanted to find a good confluence, what I'd do is I'd mark out the high and the low, and then be like, okay, is there a draw on liquidity that would be near 50? Okay. And in this scenario, we do have this low, right? So this low kind of lines up with 50. So if we were expecting a pullback, we could be like, okay, we can target this low as our draw. But in order for us to be bearish here, we need this 2 minute to break first. Okay. So for right now, we're not looking for 50 until this were to break. And then if this broke, then, we could be like, okay, I think it makes sense to go back for 50. You want to pair your draws always with order flow, right? And if the order flow is bullish here because we're continuing to respect bullish PD arrays and disrespect bearish ones, then we're going to remain bullish, right? We're not going to be looking for a retracement or a pullback or a lower draw. Yep. And if you need me to be even more specific in that, the two things that tell us that we have bullish order flow here are the fact that this 2 minutes holding, right, and sending us higher, and this 1 minute inverse is failing. Okay, so there's your bearish PD array being disrespected, your bullish PD array being respected. Okay. By the way, did you guys see that Palantir was down like crazy overnight? I felt like, I don't know if you guys saw, but Michael Burry opened a crazy short position on them. And if he caught like the top, like I'm not sure when it happened, but yeah, he pretty much called the top here. That was crazy. Forming LRLR to the downside, kinda, yeah. It's okay. It's like B plus, B tier LRLR. Because like remember we want like those obvious swings to form, right? To be A plus LRLR, right? And these are just like on the lower time frame. They're not that good. Yeah, maybe Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even think it's a bad bet either. I mean, their PE ratio is 600. Like, be so for real, man. They would have to like double their revenues or like 5x their revenues every year until like 2030 in order to even be close to a reasonable PE ratio. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but hear me out. We're gonna overthrow Venezuela. Why? Oil. That's why. I'd rather gamble on big oil than justify 600 PE on Palantir. But we have other defense contractors. Why is Palantir the one that's like the most important? I mean, I know that they do data collection, but I feel like the other weapons contractors would seek to benefit from a war in Venezuela. Yeah, but 500 billion, like that seems crazy. It just kind of feels like big tech promises and then ultimately they'll under deliver, right? Like That's kind of how I feel about OpenAI too. $13 billion in revenue. You know, I feel like OpenAI might just get wrapped up into like the other big tech companies. Like they'll get bought out. I don't know though. We'll see. Like ChatGPT is amazing, right? It was revolutionary, but in the same way that like the car was revolutionary, right, with Henry Ford. I mean, I feel like nowadays Toyota's probably perfected it. I feel like that's what we'll see. I mean, it'll be important, right, for a long time, but it'll be probably surpassed by something else. AI bubble can't pop. It's the only thing holding up the market. Yeah. I mean, all it'll take is like some black swan event to occur, and then everything's toast. Like a report comes out from MIT, right, saying that OpenAI doesn't have actually the deliverables that they claim that they do, or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Dirty paws. Exactly. Okay, so decent candle there. We have the macro here in about a minute. Tuesday, November 11th is a bank holiday for Veterans Day. Next Tuesday, bank holiday. Why Tuesday? Veterans Day. Veterans Day. Rate the 15-second A plus. Oh wow, look at this. Yeah, this 30-second long never triggered because this is series, right? There's a tiny gap above that. But this 15-second looks pretty crazy. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I can't be bearish until the 2-minute breaks, but if you wanted to gamble on something, that's not horrible. Yeah, hopefully bot. That'd be cool. Get started on the funded on NFP. So yeah, 15-second break even at the low there. Do you take trades that are with your bias but not clear draws slash normal swing points? Um, no, the only trades I take have a clear draw. Because in order to form a bias, I have to combine having a clear draw with order flow. Alrighty, guys. I don't think there's gonna be much else for us today, so I'm probably gonna wrap up here. I'll catch all of you up for PM. Oh, outro song. Okay, okay, okay. Last one. Last one. I'll come up with a banger.